Hey, welcome back to the series of Accountancy Chapter 1. In this video, we are going to solve a problem. So, before starting the problem, this is OBC Online Business Class. If you still not subscribed, consider it. We also have other social media pages like Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook. Links are given below. Go and check out. Okay, let us start the sum. As usual, we'll first analyze the sum, then we'll move on to solve the problem. Okay, this is the question. Following at the balance sheet and receipts and payment account of Vigneshwara Library. Balance sheet is very small and quite simple. Like in balance sheet, in the library side, they're given outstanding rent of 200 rupees. If they are not given anything like dividing based on the year, we need to subtract it. Okay. Next, capital fund. We know how to handle capital funds because we need to subtract it. Next, in the asset side, we have cash in hand that will be transferred to the receipts and payment account of current year, so no need to worry about that entry. Next, book, the purchase book last year 14,000. Okay, if we have any depreciation stuff, we need to subtract, or we need to write in income and expenditure account how much the percentage has given, like that. Next, furniture, same applied to the furniture, that's also an asset. Next, outstanding subscription. Here in the receipts and payment account, they are not given based on the year, so we need to subtract outstanding rent as well as outstanding subscription. Next, moving on to the receipts and payment account for the year ending 31st/3/2018. So here they are given in the receipt side two balance brought down. Like I said, cash in hand of the last year is transferred to this year receipts and payment account as opening balance. So we should not consider that in any like in the income and expenditure account or in the balance sheet. So we'll be ruling it out. To subscription 12,000 rupees. They got 12,000 rupees as a subscription. We have an entry in the last year balance sheet as well. So like we just discussed a few minutes ago, that's 600 rupees is there. So that 600 rupees should be subtracted from this 12,000 rupees. And if we have any outstanding in the adjustment, we know that how to handle that. So when it comes to adjustment, we'll discuss about that more. Next, two entrance fees. If they have given any entrance fees capitalization like that, we'll handle it in a specified way. So for now, we are moving next to sale of old newspaper. By sale of old newspaper, they're getting 1,000 rupees. For sale of newspaper, that means old newspaper is selling, they're getting 1,000 rupees. Okay, next, sundry receipts, 600 rupees, that's also an income. Next, to donation. Again, if we have any capitalization for the donation, we need to consider it. So we'll discuss about that more in the adjustment part. Next, payment. In the payment side, they're spending rent 2,400 rupees. Okay, will be considered 2,400. If we have any deduction like outstanding rent stuff, we have to subtract. If they are given like here in the last year balance sheet, they're given 200 rupees outstanding rent. For that, we need to subtract from this 2,400 rupees minus 200 rupees. Okay, if we have any adjustment regarding stuff in the adjustment, so we need to add, suppose if an outstanding rent, we need to add it. So next, by printing they're spending 1,200 rupees. Will be recording as it is if there is no adjustment stuff like that. So next, office fees is there 2,800. Again, if you don't have any outstanding, we'll post as it is. By book brought, they bought again 10,000 worth of book in this year, but here is a one trick part, that is they bought book on 30th/9/2017. They didn't bought this book on 1/4/2017. They bought book on 31st/9/2017. That means exactly after completing or the last day of the half year. Suppose if it is a January, we'll consider as a June. Right here they mentioned as a 9th month. 9 month means it's an exactly halfway from the year ending. So we'll consider by dividing into half or 6/12 like that. So 10,000 rupees. This will be handy when we are calculating depreciation. It will be quite tricky if they give dates like this. Next, by investment. By investment, they're spending 2,000 rupees. Okay, nothing special there. Next, by balance carry down. By balance carry down is 2,600. We know where to transfer it. Like we will transfer it to balance sheet at the asset side while starting the balance sheet. So next, we are moving on to the very important part, that is adjustment. We all know that in the adjustment, most of the item will be entering twice. So outstanding rent is there 300 rupees. So for this year, they have 300 rupees outstanding rent. What you will do, as they given in receipts and payment account, you will start entering 12,000 rupees outstanding rent 31st/3/2018. 300 rupees is there. That means they're not paid rent. Okay, that means in receipts and payment account they are spending 2,400. For that, you are adding this 300 and subtracting the 200 which is exist in balance sheet. Okay, Clear. Next, second adjustment, subscriptions receivable for the year 2017-18 amount rupees 400. The subscription is not came yet, so you need to add this 400 subscription for the subscription which is having now. Now in this current year they are having 12,000 rupees. For that you need to minus the last year balance sheet subscription outstanding 600 rupees. So first you will enter two subscription 12,000 minus last year 600 rupees outstanding subscription plus the current year adjustment outstanding subscription or subscription receivable 400 rupees. Next, subscription received for the year 2018-19 was 800. Here in this adjustment they are saying that this year they are received 800 rupees as a subscription, but the subscription is belong to the next year, so you need to subtract this 800 because that is in 18-19, that is next year. So instead of giving subscription received in advance, they are twisted some part here, that is subscription received in 18-19 in order to confuse students. So simple, nothing complicated there. You need to analyze like this is the current year, the current year is between 17 to 18. If they are given 18 to 19, that's obviously next year, like that. Next, half of the entrance fees and half of the donation are to be capitalized. Here we used to always get this common entrance fees and donation will be capitalized like that. Half of the entrance fees, that means 2,000 rupees should be capitalized. In that you need to capitalize half, that means 1,000 rupees. Next, to donation there is 4,000 rupees. In that half means 2,000 rupees should be capitalized. So the half will be entering in income and expenditure account and the rest half will be entering in capital fund and the liabilities side. Okay, next is at last adjustment, fifth adjustment, that is depreciation of books. We don't have depreciation for the furniture. They purchased even furniture 8,000 rupees in the last year. This year they're not purchasing any furniture. They're charging depreciation only for the books 10%. That means they have 1,400 rupees worth of books. For that 10% is 1,400 rupees. You need to subtract 1,400 and we have a other entry in the receipts and payment account. This year also they purchased books brought 39/2017. This time you need to multiply the number of months remaining and divided by 12. You need to calculate only for the remaining months. So I'll be explaining when it comes. By now we analyze the problem, so a simple problem. Okay, let's start without wasting time, starting with Vigneshwara Library income and expenditure account for the year ending 31st March 2018. Put datas, creditors, put column income expenditure wherever it should be, and starting with data side, that is expenses side. So first come back to receipts and payment account. Here you'll find the first entry, that is buy rent 2,400. We already know where the entry is and what we have to do because we have three things to minus. Okay, we'll start from rent. Rent, take this buy rent as a to rent 2,400 in inner column because we have an adjustment as well as last year balance sheet outstanding. So in last year balance sheet outstanding they have 200 rupees. So that 200 rupees should be subtracted from 2,400. Okay, come on to income and expenditure account. To rent 2,400 minus outstanding rent of previous year, that means less outstanding rent of previous year 200 rupees. Okay, still don't post to outer column because one more entry we have, that is outstanding rent 300 rupees for this year. They are already mentioned 31st/3/2018. So what you have to do, come back to the income and expenditure account, add outstanding current year on 300 rupees, outstanding current year on 31st/3/2018, that is 300 rupees. So total 2,500 rupees. You may ask why you added this year adjustment and why you subtracted last year outstanding adjustment. Both are outstanding, but that is belong to last year, 300 is belong to this year. In income and expenditure account, I said so many times, you should only enter the current year expenses or income. You should not consider any advances or any outstanding rent which is belong to last year or the next year. Okay, simple. Next, come back to receipts and payment account of this year. Here they have by printing 1,200 rupees. We don't have any entries for printing, so we'll be posting as it is. Come back to the income and expenditure account to printing 1,200 rupees. So that's it. Come back again, receipts and payment account. By office expenses, check whether we have any adjustment regarding the office expenses. No, we don't have any expenses or any adjustment regarding the office expenses, so we'll consider as it is two office expenses 2800 done. Next, buy books bought 39 2017 10%. Because it's a capital in nature, we should not consider this in income and expenditure account. We only consider it in balance sheet, but we will be considering depreciation for this book. That will be considering in the last, because in the adjustment they are given at last. So next, buy investment. Again, investment is an capital in nature, so we are not considering 2000 rupees here. That will be considered towards asset side the balance sheet, so that's also ruled out. Again, at the last, we have buy balance carry down 2600 is there. That will be considered as cash in hand in the balance sheet of this year. All entries are passed from this payment side, so we'll once check if there any adjustment regarding expenses. We passed outstanding rent, okay. Subscription receivable, that's an income. Subscription receivable for the year 2018, that's the next year, we should subtract it, okay. That's also an income. Next, half of the entrance fees and half of the donation is to be capitalized. That is also coming under income side. So next we have last, that is depreciation books at 10%. So consider it. Before going to income and expenditure account, check once how much worth the book is valued in the last year balance sheet and this year receipts and payment account. In the last year balance sheet, the book values 14,000. Again, in this year they purchased book, but they purchased after 6 months because they are purchasing at 9th month, that to ending, that is 30. Then you should calculate from next day, that is 10. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. That means third month. That means 6th month. This asset will be considering only the 6th month. So come back to income and expenditure account. Enter to depreciation of book. First calculate the depreciation for the last year books. So 14,000 worth last year books into 10%, that will be 1,400 rupees. Okay. Next, the second depreciation for this receipts and payment account or the current year purchase of book. So 10,000 rupees they purchased, 10% again, but you need to divide the remaining months and divided by 12. So the remaining months is the 10th month, October, November, December, January, February, March. 3 months plus 3 months, that is 6 months. So for 6 months you are just calculating the depreciation. 6 divided by 12, that is 500 rupees. If you add it, it will become 1,900 rupees. So that's it for expenditure side. We'll move on to income side. Then for that you need to come back to the receipts and payment account of this year. In the receipt side, they're given two balance brought down. We should not consider it because we'll be only focusing on the balance carry down. Okay, that is 2,600. Next is two subscription 12,000 rupees. This 12,000 should be considered to income side. Before that, check whether we have any outstanding subscription in the last year. Yes, we have an outstanding subscription in the last year, that is 600 rupees. Just enter subscription. By subscription, they're getting 12,000. Okay. In the last year balance sheet, they're saying outstanding subscription is there that involved in this 12,000. So subtract it, less outstanding subscription, 600 rupees. Total it, you'll get 11,400. So you just subtracted. Next, for that 11,400, don't write to outer column. Just wait, we have one adjustment for that. Come back to the adjustment part. We have subscription received for the year 17-18 amount 400 rupees. So this is one thing, and subscription received for 18-19 800 is there. So two adjustment regarding a subscription. So the first adjustment is belong to this year, so we are adding that, and the second adjustment is belong to next year, we are subtracting it. So first subtract, finally we'll add. So subtract this 800, that's belong to next year. So come back to the income and expenditure account of this year, less subscription 800 rupees, then back to again adjustment. Subscription received for this year, that is 17-18 400 rupees should be added in income and expenditure account. Come back to income and expenditure account. So here add subscription receivables 400 rupees. If you total it, you will get 11,000 rupees. So subscription part is over. That's a tricky part in this sum, because we have two adjustments regarding the subscription. Again, we have one entry in the balance sheet, so you need to consider quite a bit. Next, two entrance fees 2,000 rupees is there. Like when we're discussing question, we discussed about this entrance fees and donation. We need to capitalize it, right? So right now we are only considering entrance fees 2,000 rupees. In that 2,000 you need to cut half, because half of that amount should be capitalized. So right, for 2,000 you need to cut half. That means by entrance fees divided by 1/2, that will be like 1000 rupees. So next, to sale of old newspaper. By selling old newspaper, they're getting 1000. There is no adjustment. So what they are doing, just posting as it is. So come back to income and expenditure account. So here, buy sale old newspaper 1000 rupees. Clear? Again, back to receipts and payment account. Next entry, they have two sundry receipts 600 rupees. We don't have any entries, so post as it is. Come back to income and expenditure account, buy subscription 600 over. Next, check in the receipts and payment account, the last entry, that is donation 4000 rupees. We already went through adjustment. We found that half of that amount should be capitalized, so other half should be written here. Like always, by donation 1 by 2 into 400, that will be 2000 rupees. So by now you completed the all entries in income and expenditure account. The last and the final step is to add up or sum up, calculate the difference. If you add up, you'll get 15,600 in income side. So income is greater than expenditure. So as usual, you'll get surplus 7,200 rupees. Simple. Now we are ready to prepare the balance sheet as on March 31st, 2018. So as usual, just consider asset side, because we'll always start with asset side. Starting with cash at bank of the last year asset 33/2017's balance sheet. In that they have cash in hand 1400 rupees. Okay, you should not consider 1400 rupees because I've said 100 times, still a few people are just considering that 1400 for cash in hand. Just consider the receipts and payment accounts by balance carried on 2600. Come back to the balance sheet of this year. Right in the asset side, cash in hand 2600 rupees. Okay, next we have book 14,000. Consider it. Keep in mind we have additional purchase in this year, that is 10,000. So add both books 14,000 and the current year book as per 39/2017 10,000, that will become 24,000. But keep in mind we have depreciation. Come back to the income and expenditure of current year. There is 1900 depreciation. So there is 1900 depreciation. We already calculated this depreciation, 1400 for the last year and 500 for this year. So directly subtract 1900 from the books. So that will become 22,100. So here we completed the books part. Next, furniture 8000 is there. We don't have any entries regarding the furniture. Just post as it is. So furniture should be posted 8000. So come back to the balance sheet. Furniture 8000 rupees. Okay, again back to balance sheet of the last year. Outstanding subscription is there, that is already considered. So check whether we have any purchase happen in this particular year. We entered rent is cleared, printing and stationery is cleared, buy office expenses is cleared, buy books bought, that's also cleared, buy investment is there. So this should be entered in the asset side. Okay, enter back to the balance sheet of this year. Investment 2000 rupees as it is, no adjustment for this, so as it is. Next, again back to receipts and payment account of this year. Check whether any purchase except investment, we don't have anything like that. Then come back to the adjustment part. Write any subscription that is belong to this year. So we have a one subscription that is belong to this year 400, and we have another subscription that is belong to next year, that should be added towards the liability side because that is a liability for the current year. Okay, now you add only 400. So subscription received in the current year, that is 17/18. Back to the balance sheet of current year. Subscription received for 2017/18 400 rupees over. Next we are moving on to liability side. First thing first, we'll move on to the balance sheet of the last year. In the balance sheet they are given outstanding rent 200 rupees. So that outstanding rent is already entered. So next we'll consider capital fund 23,800. So that 23,800 should be added under capital fund. So put a heading in balance sheet. So come back to the balance sheet of this year, put a heading capital fund. In that opening balance 23,800, that is belong to the last year. Now add the surplus, which is what we got in income and expenditure account, that is 7,200 rupees. Just add 7,200. Next, add if any capitalized item is there. We have two capitalized item, that is entrance fees and donation. So entrance fees is 1000 rupees. Just write add entrance fees 1000 rupees. You can write 1 by 2 into 2000 if you don't want to get confused. Next, again add donation, because we already calculated in income and expenditure account two items is there. Half of should be recorded in balance sheet, that is given in adjustment. So write donation. If you want, you can again write 1 by 2 into 4000. The actual amount is 4000. In that you are writing half, so 2000 rupees for donation. If you sum up, you'll get in the outer column 34,000 rupees. Now we cleared all the items except outstanding rent, which is in the adjustment. So come back to the adjustment part. Outstanding rent is there 300 rupees. Just add this outstanding rent 300 because that is belong to this year. You're not yet paid it, so that should be recorded in liability side. As so that will be burden for this trust. Outstanding rent that is given in adjustment 300 rupees. Next, if there is any subscription received in advance, that should be recorded in liability side. Yes, we have a subscription received in advance that is received for 2018 and 19, that is next year obviously. So 800 is there in the balance sheet, so consider this 800 and write in balance sheet income and expenditure account. So outstanding rent as on 31st 3 2018, subscription received in advance 800 rupees. So now you cleared all the items. You only left with last step, that is to be sum up and check whether it will get balanced or not. Obviously you will get balance for 35,100 both the side. So here we completed this sum. Nothing much complicated except this book stuff, and we have two entries here. Except that, as usual, a normal problem. Don't worry, a simple problem again. So if you like this video, hit like and share with your friends. Like always, see you in the next series. You can always click here to watch the next series. Bye for now.